Now it's time to continue our series introducing you to the men and women of Oregon in the lead up to the NCAA championships. KEZI 9 sports reporter Steven Nelson has the story of two ducks who are simply going into the family business.
Oregon natives Sam Crouser and Greg Skipper were destined to be ducks.
I remember standing in the kitchen when I was like 6 years old, and I told my mom I'm going to be a duck, and she said, okay, well, let's be ducks then.
I was down here all the time, you know, for state track meets, and, you know, it's not very far for us to come either, so every time I come down here, it just feel like home to me.
Track and field was the pond these young ducks grew up in.
I can't remember when the last time I haven't gotten a throwing implement was for Christmas or my birthday.
Throwing was always just a big thing for us.
Sam probably carried or saw a javelin before he had a bicycle.
Between his father, Dean, and his uncle, Brian, there are 5 NCAA championships between them.
Sam's father, Dean, was a 3-time NCAA champion and 5-time All-American in the shot put and discus. Uncle Brian Crouser is a 2-time Olympian as well as a 2-time national champ in the javelin. Not to mention his cousin Ryan, who throws the shot at Texas, or his younger sister Haley, a javelin throwing star at Gresham and an Oregon commit.
It's hard when you're coming from people have done so well, you know, so it's kind of like it's definitely a perspective that you have to come from.
That perspective is shared by Skipper, whose family tree also has roots entrenched in Oregon track and field history. Greg's father, Scott, was also a duck who played football and threw the javelin. His uncle, Tommy, was a 5-time NCAA pole vault champion. His other uncle, the late Art Skipper, won a national title in the javelin. Greg picked up an event new to the Skipper family, the hammer throw.
It kind of chose me, I guess, in a way. With my dad throwing the javelin, Art throwing the javelin, Tommy pole vaulting, I don't have a lot to go off of, you know, but I mean the mindset and how I compete, I definitely go back to Tommy and my dad and how they competed.
There you go.
This season, the 2 massive throwers with big names are hitting big marks as they look to leave their own marks on Oregon track and field.
The legacy here is so great with Mac Wilkins, my dad, Brian, all these great guys, you know what I mean? And just, I want to make my mark too. I don't want to be I never think of me just being left in the shadow. I just want to make my mark.
I don't mind living in Tommy's shadow and my dad's shadow and everybody else's shadow, but I would like to get out and make a name for myself and, you know, have someone else living in my shadow maybe.
They have such a pedigree and such a history for them to be able to do their own thing and venture out and carve their own little niche. That's what makes them special. And I think they're well on the way to doing that here at the University of Oregon. You know, they're both pretty young.
Skipper is a redshirt freshman, Crouser a redshirt sophomore. Both view these NCAA championships as an opportunity to help people remember their names.
Coming to NCAAs, I feel like I have a really good shot, and then if I could make the World Championship team, that'd be a really good goal for me.
If not this year, then next year and the years after that for sure. I mean, I have another 3 years here, and so this is just another stepping stone in the path.
In Eugene, Steven Nelson, KEZI 9 Sports.